welcome to College Cooking. Today I'm going to show you how to make a really delicious and easy chili. It's going to include beans, hamburger, and all the tomatoes and stuff to make chili. First of all, you're going to need a skillet to brown your hamburger in, a spatula. You're going to need your beans, which I've chosen chili beans. Great Northern beans, and some kidney beans. And then you're going to need your tomatoes. You need diced tomatoes, and I usually use about 3 cans. And then you may need to add some tomato sauce, maybe. We'll check the consistency. And then I also add a little bit of barbecue sauce and some brown sugar, and then your spices. I like to use chili powder, and then I'll just kind of add things as we go. So, to start out with, you need to brown your hamburger. Now, depending on how much chili you want to make, I like to make it in mass. I like to make a lot of chili at a time, and you can kind of use the leftovers, for a few days or whatever, feed a lot of people. So I have 2 pounds of ground hamburger in this skillet, and I'm just going to brown it. And while we're waiting for it to brown and get cooked, I'm going to start, oh yeah, you'll need a large pot as well. I'm going to start putting the rest of the contents into the pot. So, I also like to get the Italian diced tomatoes because they have a little bit of Italian seasonings in them already. Now, you're not going to want to drain the tomatoes because that's what gives it its liquid consistency. So just open them up and dump them in there. Now, like I said, this is going to be a pretty big pot of chili. So you might not want to use as many cans, in your chili if you want to make less. This will easily feed probably 10 people. And then your chili beans, don't drain them either. Just go ahead and put them in there. Chili beans already have the chili sauce in them, so that's really going to help us with part of our chili taste. Whenever I make chili, I like to make it really beefy and meaty and thick. I don't like it to be really runny with a few beans and little meat. So that's why I've chosen to brown 2 pounds of hamburger and use so many cans of beans and tomatoes. Okay, so I've added all of the contents into this pot. Now, you don't really drain anything from the can except for if you're going to use kidney beans and Great Northern beans and any other beans besides chili beans. You do need to drain all of the liquid out of the beans and then add them. Now that I have all that going, my hamburger is browning, as you can see. It's getting close to done, and as soon as all of the pink is cooked out of it and you can tell that it's definitely cooked, you'll need to drain the grease out of the hamburger, and then you'll just add it into the pot, and then that's pretty much the final step. So let me go ahead and show you a little bit about seasoning your chili. I do like to add a little bit of barbecue sauce. I know it sounds odd, but it really does, it kind of gives it I don't know, I like to use honey barbecue sauce or honey hickory, and I just add just a tiny bit, maybe a tablespoon or 2, and really stir that in good. Chilies, it's kind of fun to play around with because you can pretty much add any, most things to it without ruining it. But I feel like I have kind of gotten close to perfecting my chili recipe. Then I like to add some brown sugar, and again, I don't just really measure exactly. I'm going to guess maybe 2 teaspoons or a tablespoon and a half of brown sugar. And that just really gives it it brings out the sweet flavors and the chili sauce and and the tomatoes. So then I just stir that around. And the chili is really best when you let it simmer for a while. So, if you want to go ahead and get everything ready and just put it on a low heat and let it simmer for, a good hour, hour and a half if you have time, then it really lets the flavors blend together. But if you don't have time, then just crank up your heat to a medium-high heat and just begin letting it kind of boil. And when it starts bubbling, then the flavors are blending. And then you can also get chili seasoning packages, which already have all of the seasonings put together. But if not, I just use a lot of chili powder. Use it generously. It's what gives it kind of a, not spicy, but a hint of spice, the chili flavor. I also like to add maybe just a hint of nutmeg. Just a hint. And then I do like to add onion powder. And also, in my chili, I do like to add onions. I didn't get any onions today for this pot of chili, but they are really a nice additive for your chili, give it a nice flavor. And then garlic salt. I do like to add garlic salt. And then maybe just a little salt and pepper to taste, So there you go. And you can, kind of taste it as you go and see what it tastes like. This chili is really a great option for college kids because it is so cheap and so easy. You just pour everything in a pot and kind of just add stuff that's already in your cabinet. Altogether, I probably spent less than $1 on each can, and I probably have 5 or 6 cans in here, so that's $6 plus your hamburger. If you use a pound, that's, probably $3. So that's like under $10 for an entire pot of chili. That's going to feed almost 10 people. So that's a really good price. There's not a whole lot of prep besides browning the hamburger and then pouring it in the pot. Now you can see we're getting close to our hamburger being done, and you can definitely see there's some grease that needs to be drained out. So I'm just going to continue to let that cook and continue to kind of chop it up and get it ground up good. Now you can tell a lot, based on how thick or thin you want your chili. You might add a little bit of water to it. If it's too thin, then you can add some tomato sauce to kind of thicken it up a little. Or you can even add a little bit of ketchup to kind of thicken it up just a little bit. And then after you have everything going your way, just put the lid on it and let it simmer. And as soon as the hamburger's done, we'll just drain it and pour it in the chili. Okay, so I just poured my hamburger. After I drained it, I just poured it in the pot and I've stirred it up. And you can look at the consistency. Now one thing, if you don't like as many beans, don't add as many beans. And if you want it beanless, just put the tomatoes and the seasoning in the hamburger. Or if you like it really thick, then just do it how we've done it. Another thing is, if you want to make it a little spicier, you can add some jalapenos, some sliced jalapenos, or some jalapeno juice. And I also like to serve my chili with either cornbread, or I really just like to get some Fritos and some cheese, and maybe some sour cream, and just kind of just add a few Fritos to it, cover it with cheese, and there you go. So this was a really inexpensive and really easy meal to make, and it feeds a lot of people, and it's great for leftovers, so it's a great college food. So join us next time for college cooking.